Now, every organization these days wants to go digital, and many service providers flaunt their digital transformation strategies. However, a closer look will reveal that 70% of these companies who went for digital transformation in their organization failed, which amounts to close to around $900 billion. Now, that is why it is so important to understand the importance of any change implementation before you even try it. Now, when it comes to implementing any change, whether in your team or in your organization, I always want you to remember these words of Harvard University director and professor Rosabeth Maas Kanter. And she said, "Change is disturbing when it is done to us, but exhilarating when it is done by us." Let us spend some time thinking about this. This is a very, very, very critical line, and this perhaps holds the key to a lot of problems that surrounds us while implementing a change successfully in any organization. Now, we as humans are naturally resistive to changes that gets forced upon us by either nature or some other people or some other things. Take, for example, COVID-19, because that's the latest example I can give you. Now, the situation demanded lockdowns and lifestyle changes. However, it just took few months for people around the world to start protesting and ignoring lockdown rules to return back to normal. Think about the government and the ministers in contrast, who implemented the lockdowns. Now, they were quite happy adopting the change because they were the change implementers. If you as a leader decide that from next week you will implement a 3-day weekend instead of a 2 days weekend, but the working hours would be extended a bit, and you might think people will just love it, people will just shower kudos to you, then you should think twice. You'd be very, very surprised at how many people will oppose your decision even if you thought for their betterment. So now the question that might be popping in your mind is, why does it happen? Why do we behave in this way? To answer this, I have to tell you some biology. Now, as human species, our primitive reptilian brain seeks safety and security first. Any change imposed by an external force sends us warning signal that something is wrong. What if this change does not work out? Why again this change was required? It was working fine. We were doing fine. Why once again a change is required? It sends us thinking in all sort of different directions, and not everyone is emotionally intelligent and in complete control of his or her mind and emotions. So you will see reactions from people. In one word, humans do not react to change very well unless we are all well informed before it happens. On the contrary, if you are in the driver's seat of implementing a change, then you feel more in control of the situation. You feel excited to start something new. You feel proud because it is your idea that will change things. So you are all charged up and you voice for the change. So the trick is a kind of a brain hack. That is, although you are the change implementer, you make others feel that they are also the ambassadors of this change. Only then change implementation becomes smoother than usual. So now that we have got pretty much a good idea of why change implementation is so difficult at times, let us now see the steps you should follow to do a successful change implementation.